I saw something in the Middle East Monitor last weekend regarding children in Gaza right now that I, honest to God, cannot get out of my head. I feel utterly destroyed by it. And I'm just going to focus on children for a moment, even though I'm aware that the corporate media will often do this thing where if they report on what's going on at all, they'll focus on women and children as a means of dehumanizing Palestinian men. But the reason I want to talk about children for a second is I believe that there's something about children being in peril that will unite rational people with a heart in revulsion. It's something that a good person, a decent person, will just draw the line at. Unless you're a violent psychopath or something like that. Children is the kind of thing that, we can all agree we need to protect them. In 2021, 61 children were murdered by this regime in that particular war on Gaza, and I remember being shocked and appalled at the time. Since October 7th, as far as we know, and it's probably much higher, 13,000 children have been murdered by this regime. Imagine 13,000 white children being murdered under any circumstances. Because I don't know about you, but I believe that all life has the same value. So 13,000 children have been murdered. Now, if you're lucky enough to not have already been murdered by this regime, and you're a child in Gaza, the next thing you've got to concern yourself with is mass starvation, because they won't allow anything more than a trickle of humanitarian aid to be let in. If they don't get them with the bombs and bullets, they get them with mass starvation. So all this has created something that has been reported by the Middle East Monitor. Doctors Without Borders are speaking to children as young as 5 years of age that are telling them that they would now rather be dead than to go on with the psychological horror that they're in. This regime is murdering children either by bombs and bullets or mass starvation, and has now created the most terrifying, horrific, abhorrent thing I think I can even imagine. Suicidal little children at 5 years of age. I have 2 daughters myself, okay, and I just appeal to anybody with children, who cares for children, who loves children. The idea that a 5-year-old child could come up to you and say that they would rather be dead, for me, is an end game for humanity. Have we lost our minds? Have we lost our souls? That we can live in a world, that we can even accept a world where a regime like that exists, and instead of challenging it, the Western governments are providing them with the bombs and the money to do it. So I just appeal to anybody who hasn't come out and said anything yet, and they may be in a position of influence. They might be a celebrity, they might be a politician. 13,000 children have been murdered. The rest are facing mass starvation, and 5-year-olds are wishing they were dead. If that's not going to get you off the fence, I have run out of ideas.